Good morning and welcome to TSK F1. My name's Rich and this is your daily dose of F1 news. Today we're going to be talking about Martin Brundle and the new liveries. Also that Sauber are probably maybe a little bit in trouble with their new primary sponsor. Pat Symmonds gives an update on the 2026 regulations and also a deal from Las Vegas for a lifetime of that Grand Prix. So after a few of the car launches, let's settle down. Let's just have a little bit of F1 news and have a little bit of a chat about it. And please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. But let's get on with it, shall we, guys? As we first go to Martin Brundle, he's been talking about this new wave of liveries coming to Formula One, where we're seeing bare carbon, and he's been commenting on the fact that on an overcast day or on TV, it's actually really quite difficult to see the cars and the contrast of the cars and how the carbon fiber reacts with like an overcast day and lighting in general, that it's not good and that the sponsors may not be getting all of the exposure that they need. He says this new low-weight carbon finish is becoming very prevalent in Formula One. Weight limit drops by 2 kilograms this year, and most teams were struggling before. But this car will be hard to see on TV or trackside on an overcast day. And actually, there is some precedence to this. Back in 2017, Haas, I don't actually remember the livery that they had in 2017, but I have found a quote from Gunther Steiner that in 2017, Haas changed their livery because it was dark, it was carbon fiber, and the sponsors couldn't be seen properly, and it just didn't work on overcast sessions and on the TV cameras for those trackside. It wasn't that the car obviously is invisible, but it just didn't pop. Now, the only way I can describe this, and unfortunately you have to see it in person, the Red Bull cars in person, the Red Bull logo against the sort of blue background, in person pops so much, like it's got a visual thing. On TV, it just looks very nice and contrasty, but in person, it just jumps out at you. And Gunther Steiner said back in 2017, we reviewed how you see it on TV, and it looked like that on the side, the Haas, you couldn't really see it. So the creative guys came up with some ideas until we found what Jean Haas liked, and that's why we changed it. It's very simple, but it's a different style to make it more visible when they went through a few iterations, and they thought the white would stand out more, plus making logos bigger would help as well. And it's going to be a curious one to see. As we get into the season, are we going to see these dark carbon fiber cars actually get a little bit of a rebranding once they're under the lights or on TV? Are they going to get feedback from their sponsors and stuff that they're not quite as visible as they would maybe like? I think to us, it looks very, very good, but like just to see screenshots and pictures of these cars, I think the carbon look is great, but also it has to work in every situation. Do you like the new carbon look that we see a lot in Formula One? It does save rather a lot of weight as well, which I'm going to find out how much weight on a car that is, but you've got to guess a few kilos, right? But on to the next piece of news, as we see Alfa Romeo's recently unveiled car. They could be in a little bit of hot water with their new primary title sponsorship, Stake, because of gambling rules and things like this. I'm just going to read direct quotes here. It's from a Swiss newspaper, Blick, that saying that the Stake logo will only be seen at a few races because of the implications. It's a gambling thing, and that it caused a bit of an issue even unveiling the car at the team's base in Switzerland. And quotes here. The Switzerland Federal Gaming Board, the ESBK, if the ESBK becomes aware of the case and initiates an investigation, it could have criminal consequences. Sauber, however, is not worried. Stake confirmed to us that the company is not targeting the Swiss market with its games. The domain is blocked in Switzerland, and further measures are being taken to prevent Swiss users from accessing the services. As a team, we always comply with the applicable laws and FIA regulations. So it could be a curious one with gambling. Obviously, a thing. Now, we have viewers from different countries, and I think one country that has got really, really strict gambling laws is Belgium. If anyone is in from Belgium, do let me know. But that goes as deep as doing votes and things like that on certain streams. If you're using channel points on Twitch, you can't do it because it's seen as a form of gambling, and it's simply blocked. I'm sure it's Belgium. So it'd be interesting to see if we see stake on the car in Belgium and any other countries that have got different gambling laws. They might not get value for money. Also, it's worth noting, I've said this a few times on TSK F1, that the Alfa Romeo branding finishes at the end of this season. It's been terminated from the end of this season. I'm wondering what Sauber are going to do. Is it going to be Sauber F1 again for the 24 and 25 season until they change over to Audi? Are Audi going to bankroll that? Are they going to take on another title sponsor to last them? Are they going to go back to the white cars that we used to see from Sauber? We've seen different cars from Sauber, but I've been wanting to nail that down because I was sure I read it a while ago that they were losing the title sponsorship and the branding, the name branding deal, and they are. Alfa Romeo out at the end of 2023. And will it become Sauber again? I've not actually seen a report that says what they're going to do, but there we are. Stake probably not going to be seen on every race this season because of gambling laws in different countries. I don't think any other team is affected by this, or any other team sponsored by a big gambling company in such a way. I mean, I don't know anything about Stake, but this is why they're being sort of targeted, if you like. So, Pat Symmonds, I haven't had chance to actually read through these comments, and I'm a bit bothered that they're old comments regurgitated, but it never hurts to go through the 2026 regulations potential, does it? I think these are from the Autosport International show, but these are direct quotes that are just being released, it seems. So these are on totalmotorsport.com. And Symmonds has said, we've been working on the 2026 for a couple of seasons on the aerodynamics, and whenever you finish a project, you're never satisfied. You know you can do better. Just as we are finalizing the 2022 regulations, we had a breakthrough on something that could be much better, which was carried forward and developed into the 2026 car. I've not seen that quote. I wonder what that breakthrough could be. Just as we're finalizing the 22 regulations, we had a breakthrough on something that could be much better, which we carried forward and developed into the 2026 car. I wonder what that could be. I doubt we're about to find out. He spoke about the development of the 26 cars, which will include automatic aerodynamics, but not fundamentally different from the current cars. They want them to be shorter. We've known this for a while. This is why I've been a bit of a defender of Monaco, because I feel like in the next few years we might see shorter, narrower Formula One cars. The difference in size between the Formula One cars now and maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe a bit longer. Honestly, it's crazy. I won't say they're double the size, but the wheelbase, the width, everything, they're just huge now compared. And I think it's plausible that you might see better racing at places like Monaco with the 2026 regulations, because they are wanting them to be shorter. In the first couple of years of development of the 26 cars, we wanted to look at the radical ideas as well, and we've evaluated those quite a lot. None of them were worth pursuing. In terms of appearance, we're playing around with dimensions at the moment. I hope the cars will be shorter. They're very big at the moment. They'll have a lot of automatic aerodynamics, so you'll see movable wings, but it's still recognizable as a Formula One car. You'll be able to see their heritage. Now, movable aerodynamics, movable wings. Now, well, automatic aerodynamics. Now, is this... I don't even know what that would mean. I don't think that means active... I don't think that means active aerodynamics, like it being reactive to the environment around it. But what it could mean is that for the first time in a long time, the driver is able to adjust the wings. Maybe it means that they're going to have some kind of automatic aero. I don't know. I mean, he's literally saying that, but I just don't know if that's going to be a thing. And in the way he says it, it'll still be recognizable as Formula One. You'll be able to see their heritage. It makes it sound like they're going to be very, very, very different, doesn't it? You'll be able to see their heritage. Other than, you see, to me, if a driver is changing it, then it's not an automatic wing. Does anyone have any idea about that? I mean, you could jump in and say, I suppose, automatic DRS, but that doesn't really change the look of anything, does it? That's an interesting comment. I wonder what that means. Though he has said that they will not see a return of active suspension or traction control despite the requests from the drivers. He says, I'm ambivalent about it. I thoroughly enjoyed it when we had those very technical cars. As an engineer, it was the most interesting time designing a Formula One car. Active suspension, as we know it, would not have helped porpoising. Porpoising is a higher frequency than really a normal active system could deal with. Some could deal with it, but they're very power savvy. But what we need to do is put on a good show for the fans. That's what matters. So does that need technology that's hidden away? I don't think it does. And I'm in agreement with that. I'm very much in agreement with that. I've got no idea what automatic aerodynamics could mean. Normally I have a little bit of an idea, but honestly, nothing's jumping out at me what automatic aerodynamics would mean in this context. Unless you're really talking about it changing due to maybe if you're in the draft of the car ahead, you're in the slipstream of the car ahead, that it changes the dynamics of the vehicle, allowing you to follow closer and things like that. I don't even know if that's a thing, that's possible once you're in the dirty air of the car ahead. Like, will it adjust to give you more downforce because you've got that turbulent air? I honestly don't know what that means. I need help on that one. But there we go. Some interesting comments there on the 2026 regulations from Pat Symmonds. And it does make you excited because I think the 2022 regulations have been really, really good. And it seems like they're moving even further along with what would make the racing good for us as viewers and fans. And they're taking steps to investigate what should be there. And it sounds like they've been working on it a few years already. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Please do remember to smash a like on the stream and get subscribed down below, guys. So, another little story, it's the title story that we've gone with today on the stream, is that there are plans afoot to make Las Vegas like a lifetime circuit, a lifetime destination for Formula One. And it has come to pass right now. Formula One has a 3-year deal with Las Vegas to have a race there. But Las Vegas officials have approved plans for a 10-year run for the Grand Prix, according to Autosport. The Clark County Commission reviewed a resolution on Tuesday for the Grand Prix to be recognized as an annual event for the next decade, and it's been unanimously approved. Las Vegas has a 3-year run until 2025. A quote here from James Clark, he's the commissioner said, we have a 3-year contract with Formula One, but we anticipate a lifetime partnership. This decision will open the pathway to be able to do it for at least 10 years. And then beyond that, I'm sure that those who succeed us will see the value in what we've done and continue doing it forever. Now, for me, this reads as though, okay, they've had the 3-year deal, they had it approved, they got Formula One in, Formula One have done a deal for 3 years, and then those guys have sat down and said, look, you know, there's a certain amount of bureaucracy and red tape around this. Shall we agree to go 10 years? And they've said yes. So, you know, I would say I don't think it's got any caveats. Like, I don't think they're saying as long as the Las Vegas Grand Prix is a success, we'll do it for 10 years. I think they're certain it's going to be a success. And now, like legally and bureaucratically, they've opened the door that they can have talks with Formula One and say, look, we can go for 10 years here. Yeah, and as it goes down towards the bottom of here, F1 are yet to officially announce a 10-year run for the event. However, the resolution now means that it's entirely possible and perhaps quite likely. And I think it's quite likely as well because we see quite a lot happening with, I don't want to say the Americanization because I don't think it's that, but we see the success and the penetration of the market by F1 in America. We've got the Miami Grand Prix, Las Vegas Grand Prix, Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix, Drive to Survive has been a massive success over there. We've got Logan Sargent coming into the sport. We've got more American sponsors coming into the sport. Andretti are trying to get into the sport. You know, the only thing that's literally coming into my mind as I'm saying these things is if Formula One as an intellectual property is purchased by a Middle East buyer, like I've done a video on and spoken about quite a lot, would that halt such a trend? Do we think? And I don't think so. I think at the end of the day, when it's is it PFI, the Saudi Arabian sovereign wealth fund, who made the 20 billion bid, they're doing it for an investment, right? And they're intelligent people, and I think they would continue on this course. I don't think they'd make it an American series at all, but I definitely think they do as much, if not more, as Liberty Media to try and take advantage of the vast market that the Americas entirely are. And it is about money. And it's still a thing, you know, that I still think, looking at sports as a whole, I can't help but think 20 billion isn't an inflated price for Formula One and the trajectory it's on. It's grown massively since Liberty Media took over. And you've got to think of the juggernaut that it is. Look at not similar sports franchises, but sports clubs and franchises and how much they sell for. To me, to purchase the intellectual property of a global powerhouse sporting brand, intellectual property, whatever you want to call it, at 20 billion, for me, if you carry on the right trajectory as an investment with Formula One, you're making that money back. You're making that money back in 10 or 15 years, you know, and more, you know, unless something crazy happens globally, you know, or they really misstep on how they continue to promote the sport. But I think this is the last we'll hear of this 10-year deal. Well, this is the thing, Gled. This is something I've said on stream and on TSK F1, right? And I don't think I'm being biased here. If you price Manchester United, right, and that is a brand club, isn't it? I think fans of other football teams would agree. These days it's almost a brand as much as a football club. However horrible that is to say, like in the Asian markets, in American markets, Manchester United is seen and it's visible. It's a brand, okay. And that is that they're estimating £6 billion for the sale of one football club, albeit a powerhouse of marketing, which it just is, if a single football club is around 6 billion, then surely Formula One as an entire thing would be worth more. You know, that's the only bit of the FIA president's sort of words on it I don't agree with. When he was saying 20 billion is an inflated price, I don't agree. I agree with everything else that he said, that whoever, if anyone comes in to purchase Formula One, they need to show a plan. And I am on board with that. You can't, there shouldn't just go, here's 30 billion and it's ours now. As a Formula One fan, I'd like them to go, okay, we're buying Formula One. This is who we are, and this is how we would like the sport to go. We don't get a say in that, and we probably won't get that. But I would hope that Liberty Media, if they are ever in a position of selling the sport or want to sell the sport, I would hope they would do that, and it wouldn't just be a cash grab. Maybe they don't care. I don't know. But again, the thing that's going for that, if we are talking about the Saudi Arabian Wealth Fund, the thing that's going for that is they would be buying to invest. It's in their interest to make more money and grow the sport even more. I know I've digressed off the Las Vegas thing here. It was just because Gleb made the same point I've been making, and John is agreeing with it there. It doesn't seem an obscene amount of money, because what if it's £6 billion for Manchester United? How many dollars is that? Are we talking like $8 to $9 billion? So what's $20 billion? Is it like 16 billion pounds? Something like that? I don't even know. To me, the entire sport of Formula One, you know, it I don't know. It just doesn't seem insane. It doesn't seem insane to me. It doesn't seem insane to me. But I know I've digressed there from the initial point. What I think is that this is like a bureaucracy thing from Las Vegas, that they know that in order to secure Las Vegas Grand Prix into the future, that they have to get agreement from commissions and so on and so forth for that to happen politically and things like that. And they've opened that door now. And what I think you might see is around the Las Vegas Grand Prix, or even slightly after it, but maybe just before it, I think you might see a confirmation of a 10-year deal. I think they'll get up to it, where they've seen how many seats they've sold, how popular it is, TV ratings from different sessions and things like this, and the general interest. Like, they watch all of it, right? They've got analysts on all of the metrics everywhere. And I think around the Grand Prix, you might see a 10-year deal. I don't see them announcing a 10-year deal with the Las Vegas Grand Prix randomly during Bahrain testing. It does nothing for the stature of the Grand Prix. But if they do it around the Grand Prix, it creates more conversation, doesn't it, on social media and everywhere? And that is the point. It's to gain more traction. But that's my opinion on that, really, I think. But there we go. That is the news for today. I'm working on a video currently that is talking about all the new drivers that are coming into, or new and returning drivers into Formula One this season. Maybe it'll be out today, probably tomorrow, but I'm working on it, and bits and bobs have been done for it already, so keep an eye out for that on the channel. But other than that, guys, I will be back here at 9 a.m. in the morning with your latest F1 news. What do we have coming up? Monday, we have the Aston Martin and McLaren launch, which I will be sorting out and covering, hopefully. You think they will always keep using the strip? Wouldn't really be called Vegas Grand Prix if they couldn't use... Yeah, I think they'll always use it, dude. I feel like that is a massive selling point. It's... The only reason you do a race in Las Vegas is that, isn't it? It is shouting, "Look at me," as loudly as you can, be it as the city, be it as the sport. To me, hosting a race in Las Vegas is redundant unless you're doing it along the strip. I'm not saying the "look at me" thing as as a bad thing, but that is what it's doing, isn't it? It's saying to every other sport, it's saying to every celebrity, it's saying to everyone basically in the world, look at us, look at what we're doing. Isn't this incredible? And you know, as a Formula One fan, I can't really be mad at it. I can't really be mad at that thing because I want people to be in F1. I want people to enjoy Formula One. I just worry it continues down a path of this unobtainable exclusivity. Before your background looks well smart, it does, doesn't it? This is just a mock-up that I found, but it does look very cool, doesn't it? Like, you'd go to that, wouldn't you? Like, you'd go to that. I'd go to that. I'd go to that. I literally will never be able to afford to go to that, but I would go to that. It would be wicked, wouldn't it? It would. And I can't deny that. It just signals a potential future for Formula One, which worries me a bit. And I've discussed that a lot on the stream. But hopefully it is just one of those standout things where you have your Monaco, you have your Las Vegas as your sort of glitz and glam thing. I can't help it, and I don't mean anything bad by this. I still don't understand the Miami thing. It seemed with the coverage last year, we should feel like it's got glitz and glam to rival Monaco. I didn't feel that. It just felt tacky to watch it. I feel like Las Vegas, if they deliver it correctly, will be they could deliver it in the right way, that it doesn't have tack about it, and it could be good. I hope it's good. I want it to be a success, but we'll see. You know, I still stand by my opinion, my initial opinion, that I believe that the Las Vegas Grand Prix should have been held somewhere else and not be the Las Vegas Grand Prix in America, somewhere, one of the classic circuits, and be held somewhere with provenance and history, because I think that's better for the sport and educating new fans to the sport. You can make that very glamorous by going over the history of the sport and bringing new modern stuff into it, you know. All chip in for the penthouse at the MGM. Bloody hell. I'll sell my house and be homeless, and that should pay for about, what, 1/10 of it. But anyway, guys, there you are. That's your TSK F1 news for this morning. I'll be live at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Keep your eye out for that. Please do make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe down below, and keep your eye out for more videos. I will see you very soon. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a good day. See you later. Bye-bye.